Hey guys, this is Mistress Nightmare here, and today we'll be reading the last chapter of My Possession, a Jeff the Killer love story. And I hope you guys enjoy this. May's point of view. One day of the beginning of a prisoner to what I was now my room. Much to my delight, at least, things were going my way. Ben had brought through my stuff. It looked like my guardian had set everything up. It was like a modern version of my room, or morbid version of my room, back at home. Sitting up in my bed, I noticed that for a while I was out. It looks like someone has been scratching or scribbling on my door. I got up and looked out curiously and laughed when I saw it was clearly Jeff, Ben, and my proxy. Even the Dark Lady had signed my door with their names with a small quote. My little knife, mine and mine alone. Touch her, you die, Jeff. Wow, Jeff, rude. What if other guys... The rest had been scribbled out. May's the best human bitch owns Mario Kart. Now, what about Mario Kart Dash EX, Ben? Writing on the door is bad, guys, but May is... Don't be afraid of this place. I am your protector of the young, and I will not let anyone harm you. Go out and talk to some of them. I might be surprised. DL. Stay strong, May. We are all here for you. Please don't leave my room without me. I would like to live. Thanks, Guardian P. I giggled at what my proxy called herself. I wandered around my room for a bit before finally deciding to put some day clothes, maybe go on the web and surf, if the creepypastas have the internet. Throwing over my favorite tank top with Devil is a Loser and my black pants, I hopped onto my computer chair and went to hook up to the internet. Much to my surprise, not only they had internet, but it was unlocked and had a crazy good signal. I grinned and mentally bounced off the walls. My mom and dad were flipped the shit if they knew I would spend all day and all night on the computer. I paused in remembering something. Oh yeah, Mom and Dad. I wonder how they're doing. Were they freaking about my disappearance and missing stuff? Were they even okay? The thought lingered in my head all day. Eventually, I decided to return to my local newspaper to see those killings were still going on. Not surprisingly, it was. Two more were dead. There was a guy, but his lower body was missing. It was something twisted apart. My brain found it funny. Talking about 2.5 men. I browsed through the list of the newspapers updating. I took notice that one of them pointed out to a crash far from the airport. Hopping on that news tab, I went over and read about it and spilled milk on my guardian, who brought it for me for lunch, along with my favorite snack. The bodies were confirmed to be my mother. As my mind strangled the corpse with this, I noticed that there was more on it. I flipped to the digital page, and to my panic, the only inclusion they were talking about how the airport my father was on crashed too. Suddenly I realized I was completely abandoned by my world. Jeff had killed my bullies, my friends, and Alexander, and now had taken away my parents too. Even the dates read exactly the day I'd been dragged into this vial of the creepypastas. Even the way Slenderman spoke when I first met him, it didn't click with me, and then the lights were on everything. But he said how he could just erase my memories and return me home. He blamed it on Jeff, but Jeff had killed my parents. Hadn't just killed my parents, just the bullies and Alex and my friends. Enough through the internet for one day. I closed down the windows and put my computer to sleep mode and went to my bed and cried. Somewhere along the way, Lady appeared, rubbing my back soothingly, trying to calm me down. I turned around and hugged her, hugging her back, humming while she hugged me and was humming Rockabye Baby while rocking me back and forth as my tears subsided as I began to fall asleep, wondering why the Dark Lady began to cry. Jeff's point of view. I groaned and cracked my neck a little bit as I sat in the middle of the murder. One that wasn't mine. Jane had once again beat me to my victim, who hung from the ceiling with foam in his mouth and wristlet, where it looked like it was a suicide. Even the most recent text on his phone was from unknown saying, "Don't go to sleep." The worst part about it, it was going to be a special kill. He and Ben, I and Ben were working together to get this guy. Pulling down his sanity while sucking the skull art. Jeff jokingly bragged about it and brought tears into his eyes. Their masterpiece was now dead. If I was at the tape to get into people's problems, I would get into yours and attack Jane for this, Ben said, with his torso halfway out of the man's computer screen and cheeks recently resting on his palm. I sighed and rubbed my scarred face. Well, at least we made it worth our while, I grumbled, mood souring at the mere thought of Jane. She's a fucking bitch, and really, there were so many worthwhile females I can think of right now to replace her. Ben chuckled and nodded his head again in agreement. Well, we lost this one, I said, standing up. I want to hunt down the same nearby person online and, well, make up for this with a quick kill. Oh, you bet your life, Ben replied with a grin, his black eyes somehow darkening, making the red pupils stand out even more. He eventually slipped back into the computer within 2 minutes, an address popping up in Google. Jeff memorized it, and it was a waltzing out of the house as one of the family members found the body. That's when Jeff came in. Oh, you should have seen her face. May, not even 2 hours later, Ben and I were sitting in my knife's room. Ben recalled the quick kill word for word. So she started to scream, right? I was able to lunge out of the corner of her mouth with my hand. I think she wet her pants then. I swear there was a liquid down there. Credit where credit's due. May wasn't reacting badly as I thought she might, despite Ben retelling so far. The most she done was done lifting her left eyebrow in interest. Get to the good part, I snapped. From the limited time I had to wait to be cast my role. Ben rolled his eyes. Patience, Jeff. I'm getting to it. So Jeff walks up to her real slow and murmurs to her in this low voice, "Am I beautiful?" I was actually amused at how Ben pulled out my voice. She was so scared she didn't even reply, so he gave her a cut on her collarbone and asked again. No, you wouldn't believe this. she shakes her head no. That's when Jeff got really pissed. I moved Ben's hand out of the way before she could scream, and I stuck my knife into her mouth and cut in one side of her face, then the other. Just like those bad boys right here. He pointed to my scars. Ben glared at me since I interrupted his story and I took over for myself. I stuck my tongue out at him, but for now, May's attention was all on me. That's what I continued here. Enough. We all looked towards the doorway and we saw the dark lady and Sharmila standing there. Lady looked particularly annoyed. You're gonna give her nightmares. Go to bed. I'll take care of her from here. Ben sighed and went to our room but I held my ground and glared. She wasn't going to. Jeff, bed now. Fuck. I recently just got up. Night, May. I grumbled and quickly pressed a kiss on her lips. Damn it. If I was getting kicked out already, at least I made it work for me. The dark lady was mightily amused as I walked out of the room. My little knife flustered, and Carmilla seemed not to understand anything what just happened. Anyway, that's the ending of this chapter. If you guys want more Jeff the Killer love stories out there or any creepypasta fanfictions out there, please hit that like button, comment, subscribe to this channel if you guys want more creepypasta fanfictions out there. Until then, bye!